the Chi-Town experience on the flight. Let me go tune in to Keek on the mic. He gon' make sure we get our news and highlights. When you get on YouTube, you better hit the likes.
It is time for the Chicago Bears to move on from this key player. Hey, what's going on, Bears fans? Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Keek on the Mic, the podcast all about the Chicago Bears. As always, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Bears fans, as we all know, Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears are getting their 53-man roster set up prior to their week 1 matchup against the Tennessee Titans. They have already began making cuts here and there, with Ian Wheeler going on injured reserve for a torn ACL. I know tight end Tommy Sweeney was also released, and even Keith Randolph was also waived by the Chicago Bears. So they're coming in slowly and surely. No huge surprises yet in terms of cuts for the Chicago Bears, but I wanted to come on here really quick and talk about a player that it's time for the Chicago Bears to really move on from, and that is Dominique Robinson. And the only reason why I'm bringing up Robinson is because the Chicago Bears, meaning Ryan Poles and Matt Eberflus, are in love with a guy like Robinson. I know they were really happy that he came back and looked bigger and stronger. He looked really good in practice as well during training camp, but it's just not translating to the field. I know Matt Eberflus mentioned saying that the Bears will ride the hot hand at edge rusher opposite of Montez Sweat. He mentioned DeMarcus Walker, Austin Booker, and Dominique Robinson, along with newly added Chicago Bear Darrell Taylor, as guys that could possibly be that edge rusher opposite of Montez Sweat. And Ryan Poles actually seconded that opinion from Matt Eberflus on a recent podcast as well. So for some reason, they like what they've seen from Dominique Robinson. But as a Bears fan, when I'm watching the tape, when I'm watching the games, I'm not really seeing what they're seeing in terms of Dominique Robinson. When you look at Robinson, he has played in 28 games, only 2 sacks, Bears fans. And what makes matters worse is that he had 1.5 sacks in the 2022 season opener against the San Francisco 49ers as a rookie. But then in the last 27 games, he has only had a half sack. This preseason, he's had 34 pass rush opportunities, only 2 pressures, and no sacks. To make matters even worse, Bears fans, he is not really a good run defender as well. Last season, PFF graded him as a 33.2, and he doesn't even offer anything as a special teamer as well. So I'm just trying to figure out why Matt Eberflus, why Ryan Poles are so high on Dominique Robinson. Don't get me wrong. Robinson was a really cool story a couple of years ago. I do realize that he was trying to learn how to play the position. And I gave him some leeway for that. But now he's going into year 3, and it still seems like he is still not developing the right way, or how Ryan Poles and Matt Eberflus envisioned him. And don't get me wrong, he has freakish size. He seems like he's a really good athlete as well. He stands at 6'5". He has really good length as well. So I understand when you're looking at a measurable standpoint, I understand why Matt Eberflus and Ryan Poles may not want to give up on a guy like Robinson. But when you're looking at his production on the field, it's just not good. And I think it's time for the Chicago Bears, Matt Eberflus, and Ryan Poles to give up on this project, especially when you're considering you have other guys on the roster that can contribute on the field at a higher level than Dominique Robinson can. Daniel Hardy had 3.5 sacks this preseason. He's a fan favorite. I feel like he deserves a spot more than a guy like Robinson. Austin Booker is obviously going to make the team. A 5th-round rookie out of Kansas. The Chicago Bears traded back in to the 2024 NFL draft to get a guy like Austin Booker, and he has really showcased why the Bears traded up to bring him to Chicago. There's a lot of analysts that actually had a 3rd-round grade on Austin Booker, and he's really showcasing that. He's fast. He has good pass rushing moves. He's relentless in his pass rushing moves as well. He also had 2.5 sacks this preseason. And then, of course, newly acquired Chicago Bear from the Seattle Seahawks, Darrell Taylor, has had 21.5 sacks in 3 seasons with the Seattle Seahawks. He's had 90 quarterback pressures in 3 seasons with the Seattle Seahawks as well. And now you bring that veteran, that talent here to the Chicago Bears defensive line. Those 3 guys are way better than a guy like Dominique Robinson. These guys will produce at a higher level alongside Montez Sweat. And these three guys will make the Chicago Bears defense a whole lot better. And it's no disrespect to Dominique Robinson. I understand he had this learning curve and trying to learn the position, but Bears fans, it's just not working. The stats are all you need to know about Dominique Robinson. In 28 games, only 2 sacks. In preseason, he's had opportunities as well. 34 pass rush opportunities, only 2 pressures, and no sacks. It's just not working. If Matt Eberflus and Ryan Poles are so high on Robinson, just put him on the practice squad and see if he can develop into something special. But there's no need to waste a spot on a guy that is not producing on Sundays, right? You want to make sure you are putting the best 53 possible on the football field. He's not even a good rotational backup at the edge rushing position, right? Compared to Daniel Hardy or Austin Booker. I'd rather have a rookie in Austin Booker be a starter alongside Montez Sweat or rotational backup alongside Montez Sweat, rather than just giving Dominique Robinson a spot just because you feel like he has potential. He's way past the potential phase right now. He should be at the level and he should be at a spot now going into year 3 where he can be a critical part of this edge rushing group, a critical part of this defensive line. He should be at this stage of his career where he's making this Bears defense better. But at this point, I feel like he's a liability. I feel like he's holding the team back, and he hasn't proved on the field that he can be productive consistently for the Chicago Bears defense. It's great that he's had a good camp. It's good that he's looking good in practice, but all in all, it's just not translating to the game. I respect him for attempting to learn the position and having all the confidence in the world to try to get better and that work ethic to get better. But overall, Bears fans, it's just not working. So in my personal opinion, I would be a little bit frustrated if Dominique Robinson makes this 53-man roster over a guy like Daniel Hardy, right? So personally, if I had to choose, I would choose Daniel Hardy over Dominique Robinson. Of course, Austin Booker is going to make the team. And of course, Darrell Taylor is going to make the team as well. So Bears fans, I just want to come on here really quick and give my personal opinion on Dominique Robinson. I'm not too sure why Ryan Poles and Matt Eberflus are so connected to Robinson, but give me your guys' opinion down below in the comment section. If you were general manager Ryan Poles and you were making this 53-man roster for the Chicago Bears, would you keep Dominique Robinson over a guy like Daniel Hardy? Let me know down below in the comment section. But as always, Bears fans, make sure you continue to hit that subscribe button and the notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms, and make sure you share this episode of Geek on the Mic with every single Bears fan that you know. Better than that, be back for all new Bears podcasts right here on Geek on the Mic. Thanks, guys, and as always, bear down.
You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't kick on the mic. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't kick on the mic. You can go and subscribe, cause I be on it right. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't kick on the mic.